But we have Ian Patrick here from our FISM News. You can find FISM News by going to FISM.tv/news or just click the news button there when you get on there. You can also watch our broadcast on Tuesday and Thursday evenings at 7 o'clock there on FISM.tv. So make sure you do that. If you listen on the app, make sure you check out the news. You should be going to our news a site on a very regular basis so you can stay updated with what the truth is and where the truth lies. Here comes, and Ian is here. Ian, what do you got?
I was reading some numbers on border crossings. Apparently, there's some preliminary data from Customs and Border Protection. Now, because it's preliminary, they have not released it on their site. It's been reported by a couple of other outlets, but it's pretty widespread, so I wanted to touch on what some of the numbers are coming out. So right now, there are a recorded, and again, this is preliminary data, but there's a recorded 170,000 crossings in the month of March. And what this means is there's 170,000 encounters between those who were crossing the border and then enforcement who either apprehended them or saw them crossing. So This is a staggeringly big number.
Is that a record of some sort?
It is close. So the all-time record, I didn't write it down, and I'm so sad about that. But the all-time record, I think, was about 25 years ago at 173,000. This is, however, an all-time high for the last 15 years.
Wow.
So the last time that it was this high was in May of 2006, I believe. It was in the year 2006. That's all I remember.
Wow.
But yeah, it's the highest since then, which is insane. And then beyond that, this is a 70,000 jump from February of this year. So in February, it was at 100,000 crossings, and now we're up to 170,000. And then this is about a 90,000 jump from January. So since the beginning of the year, it's almost doubled in its numbers, which is
so. This
insane.
is obviously Trump's fault, right?
Well, that's what the Biden administration keeps saying. They inherited
have
that
they gone there
system.
yet with this? I guess they will by the end of the day.
I'm sure they will. They keep bringing it back up. A couple weeks, 1 week ago, actually, I touched on a press conference that Biden gave where he pretty much said the same thing. He said they inherited a broken system from Donald Trump, and these are just all the different things that they're having to deal with. And there are so many different aspects going into this. But the one thing that Biden thinks will solve this issue is to address the problems in those countries rather than try to lock down or enforce a strict border policy.
Yeah. Well, as President Trump said, you got to do all of that, which he did.
Yes.
Addressed it. Though he addressed it firmly with threats and it seemed to work. And between that and the idea that, hey, we're going to send you right back, seemed to do the trick for the most part, and the wall. And, backing up our law enforcement down there on the border, I think, was key as well.
I think so as well. Speaking of which, actually, I wanted to touch something else that's been in the news pretty lately is the number of unaccompanied minors who have been approaching the border. Unfortunately, this number grew as well. Right now, detained unaccompanied minors are at 18,500. And this is also a pretty high number, especially since the previous record was held in May of 2019 at 11,861.
So where are they being detained?
Well, they're being detained in all these little Texas and Arizona facilities that they keep them in, but it's also not the smartest idea because according to a couple of other news outlets, at least one facility that they have a bunch of these unaccompanied minors detained in is 1,600% over their COVID-19 limit, which is pretty much however many people they're supposed to have in relative distance to one another. They are over 1,600% exceeding that capacity.
Wow.
Thank you for watching. Go to FISM.tv/news for more.